Good morning students. In this lecture 24th of mechanics, we will discuss the effect of Coriolis force on a freely falling body towards the earth. As in the previous lecture, we have already discussed about the effect of centrifugal force which arises due to the rotation of earth on the body which is moving over the surface of the earth. So here in this lecture, we will study the effect of Coriolis force. Again, this Coriolis force, it arises due to the rotation of earth, and now we will see its effect on the body which is freely falling towards the surface of the earth. So for this, consider a particle of mass small m lies at point Q at the top of the tower of height h from the surface of earth. Suppose we have a tower PQ of height h, and this particle of mass m, it lies at the top of the tower at point Q, and then it is dropped from this point. From the top of the tower of height h, the particle is dropped towards the surface of the earth at the angle of latitude lambda. Now on the surface of the earth, suppose it will touch the point P. So let P be the point on the surface of the earth. So now what will be the force acting on this particle at any instant? Now the force on this particle, it will be due to the rotation of earth. So it will be the effective force, and it is equal to the real force acting on the particle plus Coriolis force acting on the particle due to the rotation of earth, and along with that centrifugal force acting on the particle because of its motion and rotational motion of earth. And now suppose this is the real force acting on the particle in the inertial frame. So what will be the real force acting on the particle which is falling freely towards the surface of the earth? It will be the force due to gravity, which is denoted by Fg. So this MAF, it is the force due to gravity. This term, it is representing minus 2m omega cross Vr, it is representing Coriolis force. And this third term, which is representing centrifugal force. And we know that where this omega is the angular velocity with which the earth is rotating. Omega is the angular velocity with which the earth is rotating about its axis. And here when you will solve this vector triple product omega cross r, here you will have omega square. We have two omegas. As we have already calculated the value of omega in the article, earth as a non-inertial frame, where omega comes out to be, in case of earth, 7.27 into 10 raised to power minus 5 radian per second. It means the value of omega is very small. So when we will have two omegas, means omega square, it will make omega more small. So that is why the magnitude of centrifugal force is very small. So it is neglected. Why we are not neglecting this Coriolis force? Because it contains just single omega. So the value of this Coriolis force, it will be greater than this centrifugal force. So this expression number 1, it will be changed to effective force acting on the particle at any instant, which is falling freely from height h above the surface of earth, is equal to the real force acting on the particle plus the centrifugal force, Coriolis force, that is minus 2m omega cross Vr. So that will be our equation number 2. Now consider the rectangular coordinate system with taking this point P on the surface of the earth as the origin of that coordinate system. Then suppose this is vertical direction above the surface of the earth. So Z will tell you vertical, and y-axis of that rectangular coordinate system, it is obtained by drawing the tangent at point P to the surface of the earth. So this is y-axis, and this x-axis which I am showing here, it is not actually towards this, it is actually into the plane of the paper. This x-axis, it is actually into the plane of the paper, going inwards. So x-axis is towards this direction, y is towards this direction, and z is towards this direction. And according to the map, this will be the south, this will be y-axis, it is along north, then x-axis will be towards east, so that is why I am writing east here. Then this negative x-axis, it will be towards west. And now the real force, that is the force due to gravity, Fg vector, earth always attract bodies towards its center. So this force due to gravity, it is acting towards the center of the earth, means from Q to P. It is acting in this direction, from Q to P, P to O. So if z-axis, positive z-axis is in this direction, then negative z-axis will be in this direction. It means this force due to gravity, Fg vector, it is acting along negative z-axis. So Fg vector, it will be equal to any vector, it is equal to the product of its magnitude, that is Fg, into its direction, and its direction is towards negative z-axis, and the unit vector along z-axis is k cap, and the unit vector along negative z-axis is minus k cap. So it is equal to minus Fg k cap, and this Fg, it is the force due to weight of the body of mass m. It will be m into g. So it is equal to Fg vector, it is equal to minus mg k cap, and this is equation number 2. Now put the value of this real force Fg vector in equation number 1, and you will get effective force acting on the particle at any instant. It is minus mg k cap plus Coriolis force, and centrifugal force is neglected because it contains two values of 2 omegas, as the value of single omega is small, so 2 omega will make it more small, so the magnitude of centrifugal force is very small as compared to Coriolis force. So that is why we have neglected that. So now we have to find the value of omega vector and VR vector. So what is omega vector? Omega vector is the angular velocity of earth in YZ plane. So I will show you how. So the earth is rotating about this axis with angular velocity omega. It means when earth is rotating, so this particle, it will also rotate. If any rigid body, it is rotating with angular velocity omega, then every particle on its surface and inside it will also rotate with the same angular velocity. This we have studied in the chapter of rigid body. It means this particle P, it will also rotate in this anti-clockwise direction with the same angular velocity omega. So that is why we have taken the angular velocity of this particle P here as omega. And as you can see, this omega, it lies in YZ plane. Why? Because this x-axis, it is into the plane of the paper. So this x-axis, it is perpendicular to this omega vector. But this y-axis and z-axis, it lies in YZ plane. This omega vector, it lies in YZ plane. So what will be the value of omega? For that, we need to find this angle of y-axis with omega vector. How we will find this? See, the tangent to the circle or tangent to the any spherical body, it is always perpendicular to its radius. This you have studied in your mathematics. This tangent you have studied that tangent to a circle is always perpendicular to the radius in your 9th standard. So this tangent y-axis, it will be perpendicular to this radius, and if you will draw this omega vector up to this line, then this omega vector, it is also perpendicular to this. And there is one theorem that angle between two lines is equal to the angle between their perpendiculars. So the angle between these two lines is lambda. So the angle between the perpendicular to these lines will also be lambda. So see, to this line y-axis is the perpendicular, and to this line omega is the perpendicular. So angle between these two lines is lambda. So angle between their perpendiculars will also be lambda. And as this omega vector, it makes an angle lambda with y-axis. So the component of omega along y-axis will be cos component. So it will be along y-axis, its component will be omega cos lambda, and the unit vector along positive y-axis is j cap, and its component along z-axis will be omega sin lambda, and the unit vector along z-axis is k cap. So omega vector will be equal to omega cos lambda j cap plus omega sin lambda k cap. So omega vector, it is equal to omega cos lambda j cap plus omega sin lambda k cap. And suppose this is our equation number 4th. Now we have to find the value of Vr. What is Vr? It is the velocity of the particle which is falling freely at any instant. So this Vr vector, it will be equal to the magnitude of the velocity into its direction. Suppose the magnitude of velocity is V. Magnitude of the velocity with which the particle is falling freely, suppose it is V, into direction. Now, what is the direction? In which direction the particle is falling freely? It is towards the center of the earth. From this point Q, the particle is falling freely towards the center of the earth. It means the particle is falling freely in the negative z-axis. If this is the positive z-axis, this is the negative z-axis. So the unit vector in negative z-axis is minus k cap. So Vr vector, it will be equal to magnitude of velocity is V into minus k cap, which is equal to minus V k cap. And suppose this is equation 4th. This is equation 5th. Now put both the values of this equation 4th and equation 5th in this cross product. So find the cross product of omega and Vr. Then put the value of that cross product in equation number 3rd. So the cross product, it can be determined in this way, where omega vector is equal to omega cos lambda j cap and omega sin lambda k cap. So there is no term in omega vector involving I cap. So the coefficient of I cap is 0. And the coefficient of j cap in omega vector, it is omega cos lambda. And the coefficient of k cap in omega vector, it is omega sin lambda. Then what about the value of Vr? It is minus V k cap. So there is no term involving I cap, so it is 0. There is no term involving j cap, so it is 0. And the coefficient of k cap in the value of Vr vector is minus V. So find the cross product, solve this determinant. I cap, it will be minus V omega cos lambda. 0 into this will be 0. Then minus j cap. V into 0, 0. Minus 0 into omega sin lambda, 0. Plus k cap. 0 into 0, 0. 0 into this, 0. So the value of cross product of omega and VR, it is equal to minus V omega cos lambda I cap. It means the Coriolis force, this factor omega cross VR, it is acting along negative x-axis. And now suppose this value is, this equation is equation 6th, and put this value in the equation of effective force acting on the particle at any instant. So it will be minus mg k cap minus 2m, omega cross VR is minus V omega cos lambda I cap. So effective force acting on the particle which is falling freely, it is equal to minus mg k cap minus minus plus 2m V omega cos lambda I cap. And suppose this is equation 7th, and in this equation 7th, this is the real force acting on the particle because of its weight, and this is the Coriolis force acting on the particle because of the rotation of Earth. So F Coriolis, as we have to study the effect of Coriolis force on the freely falling body, so from this equation 7th, F Coriolis is equal to 2m V omega cos lambda I cap. And suppose this is equation 8. So from this equation, what is clear is that when any body, it is falling freely towards the surface of the Earth, then due to the rotation of Earth, Coriolis force will be acting on that particle or body in which direction? Here we have positive sign and here we have I cap. Means Coriolis force will be acting on the particle due to the rotation of Earth along positive x-axis. And positive x-axis is towards east. It means Coriolis force will be acting on the particle towards east along positive x-axis. So the particle, under this Coriolis force, the particle, it will not exactly drop to point P on the surface of Earth, but it will deviate from point P towards this positive x-axis. So it will drop at some distance from this point P. The particle will drop at point P, which is exactly below point Q, if there is no Coriolis force acting on the particle. Now because this Coriolis force acting on the particle, it is non-zero and it is acting towards positive x-axis. So under the effect of this Coriolis force, the particle, it will not drop from point Q to P, but it will slightly deviate towards east, that is towards positive x-axis from point P, where point P is the origin of the coordinate system. So from the origin, it will deviate towards the positive x-axis. So you have to write these lines at the end of this article, that this equation means that when the particle falls freely from the height h above the surface of the Earth, then it will not trace a straight line path QP just under Q, but because of the presence of this Coriolis force, because of the rotation of Earth, the particle will be deviated towards the positive x-axis because of the presence of this I cap, that is towards east. And now we will find in the same article, now we will find the distance through which the particle is deviated because of this force. So we will find that distance along x-axis which the particle has deviated. Now because of the Coriolis force acting on the particle, there will be some acceleration due to this force. along x-axis, because this force is acting along x-axis. So acceleration of the particle will also be there along x-axis. Suppose that acceleration is ax. So what is ax? Ax is the acceleration which is produced because of the Coriolis force acting on the freely falling body. You have to write this line. So this ax, it will be force. F Coriolis, the magnitude of force divided by mass, because force is equal to mass into acceleration. And what is the magnitude of this Coriolis force? It is 2 mv omega cos lambda, which we have just calculated, divided by m. So this m will be cancelled out. So the value of acceleration of the particle along x-axis will be 2v omega cos lambda. And suppose this equation as equation A. Now we have already supposed that the velocity of the particle, it is v, magnitude is v, into direction is minus k cap. Now what is the value of this magnitude v? So use this relation, v, it is equal to u plus gt, where v is the final velocity, v is vr, and it is equal to minus vk. Initial velocity was 0. The particle initially it was at rest at the top of that tower. So it will be 0. This g vector is, the magnitude of g vector is g, and it is acting towards the center of the earth. So it is minus k cap. So direction is minus k cap into t. So this implies minus v k cap, it is equal to minus gt k cap. Negative and negative sign will be cancelled out. So comparing the coefficients of k cap on both sides, what we get, that the magnitude, the value of v is gt. The particle, it is moving with velocity g into t at any time t. So now put this value of v in this equation. So the acceleration produced due to Coriolis force will be 2 gt omega cos lambda. Now integrate this equation with respect to time. Integrate this equation with respect to time. Integrating both sides with respect to t. Integration of acceleration, it will be velocity. Differentiation of velocity is acceleration. Integration of acceleration will be velocity. So it will be vx integration of ax. Here we will have ax dt integration. It will be ax dt will be equal to dv, and integration of dv will be v. It is equal to 2 is constant, g is constant, omega is constant, cos lambda is constant. Here we will have integration of t dt. So integration of t will be t square by 2. And this 2 and 2 is cancelled out. So we have g omega cos lambda into t square. This is equal to vx. Now we have to find the distance of deviation from the vertical. Means we have to calculate distance. And how we can calculate distance from the equation of velocity? Again integrate it. So integration, again integrating it. Integration of velocity will be vx dt. Vx dt is dx. And integration of dx will be x. It is equal to g omega cos lambda. These are constants. And the integration of t square is t cube by 3. And suppose this is equation B. Now suppose at any time t naught, suppose the distance through which the particle is deviated towards positive x-axis, suppose it is x naught. At any time t is equal to t naught, suppose the deviation along x-axis is x is equal to x naught. So put these two values in equation B. Putting these in equation B, and what is equation B? Equation B is x is equal to 1 by 3 omega g t cube cos lambda. So putting these values in this equation, x is x naught 1 by 3 omega g t naught cube cos lambda. And suppose this is our equation C. And also there is one equation for distance, which is s is equal to ut plus half gt square. Here s is the distance covered by, or the height covered by that particle, freely falling body. It is h. It is dropped from the height h, and initial velocity of the particle at the top of the tower was 0, plus half g, t is t naught square. So in time t is equal to t naught, the distance covered by the particle along x-axis because of the Coriolis force is x naught, and in that time t naught, the particle has covered the height of h from the top of the tower to the surface of the earth. So what will be the value of t naught from this equation? It implies t naught is equal to 2h by g square root. Now put this value of t naught in equation C. So we will get that the distance through which the particle is deviated along positive x-axis under the effect of Coriolis force, it is equal to 1 by 3 omega g. The value of t naught is 2h by g 1 by 2 raised to power 3. So it will be 3 by 2 cos lambda. So this is the deviation from the vertical under the effect of Coriolis force.